Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Toonkind at 12 FPS. My name is Avi, and today I'll be playing your local real kind counselor, Dr. Tomomi Masaru. And with me today is my wonderful friend.
Hello, I'm Oatmeal, and today I will be playing real kind space alien time traveler, the Professor.
Yeah, and for this FPS, we are still in Yeddo. Specifically, we're still in Okashima, since people are have taken a few trips outside of Okashima. Um, but Professor, you're still in the city. How you doing lately?
Um, uh, a bit, uh, a bit frustrated, because there's a lot of, uh, it, it seems like it's a small pool of people that, this mysterious benefactor could be, and yet none of them are, at least obviously, the sort of person who could pull off this crazy thing. Um, so bringing Azumi back and uh, influencing all of these strange events. Um, and so uh, he has just been kind of like going over the notes and musing on different things. Um, he is glad that Azumi's not staying in his apartment because uh, he didn't want to like leave him in there where the whoever it is knows exactly where to find him. Um, but yeah, he's just kind of like just trying to put things together. And he's probably, I don't know. He does he does pretty good thinking when he's out walking, so he's probably um uh probably out somewhere.
All right, yeah, yeah. That's fair. I still haven't given the specific location an XP name, but we are back at the park. Um, uh, if anybody is familiar with Persona 5 and Real World Tokyo, um, this is based on Inokashira Park, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Um, it is a pretty nice spot. It's like uh, I guess a good way to describe it would be like a natural oasis in an urban city. There's plenty of nature. There's like a big pond
Yeah,
in
no, it's
in
gorgeous.
the
It's
middle.
probably
Oh yeah,
probably bigger than Central Park.
yeah. And if I remember right, boat rides are like a thing that those are an attraction in Inokashira Park.
I see boats in the pictures that I just pulled up.
Yeah, yeah. Because you can go on a not date with Yusuke as a confidant event here. Um, um, but yeah, you are here, probably walking around trying to get your thoughts in order. Because again, this has been a very strange and frustrating case. Um,
Yeah, not even the magic's straightforward.
yeah,
Like, if just one thing could be textbook, like,
maybe your benefactor just likes to fuck around and find out. You did discuss the possibility of your culprit being inexperienced with this sort of magic.
Hmm.
So it being like all over the place probably isn't too surprising, but it's still incredibly frustrating.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, but as you're walking around the park, would you? Sorry, this sure is what we decided to go with for this FPS. Could you make me a perception check?
Absolutely. Okay. I think my modifier is good enough. Yeah, that's gonna be a 12.
Yeah, this is not subtle at all. Um, you probably not. Uh, sorry, my brain is like still catching up with the fact that this is what we decided to go with. um,
There are a lot of trees in this park.
there are a lot of trees in this park. And because it's such a natural place, there's a lot of smaller animals around. But with a 12, this is not subtle in the slightest. You're probably like walking around and you look up for a split second and catch sight of this man. Oh boy, there's this man who is climbing up a tree. And just by like seeing what's going on, you can see that there is a kitten stuck in one of the branches in the tree.
Hmm. He just like stops, um, and like looks for a moment, and he goes like, um, "Do you need help?"
I think it would be really funny if I rolled a dex save.
Oh my god.
He got a 14. No modifiers in dex. um, you see him like pause like very precariously from where he's like at, and he looks up at you, and I'm gonna find a picture of him real quick. Uh,
Mm.
yeah, he's probably not in his lab coat, so he's probably wearing something pretty casual.
Yeah,
So
button up and a sweater maybe.
this he,
E.
it's this man with kind of like messy hair and glasses, and he kind of looks over to you when you call out to him, and he rolled pretty decently well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's probably like a moment where he's just like precariously like perched like right at like the where the branch connects to the tree, and he's kind of like to the trunk of the tree. Sorry, I know words, and he looks at you. And he goes, uh, I thank you. I think I've got it from here. Um,
Professor just sort of um, like is doubtful.
as you should be.
Yeah, he's just like gonna get closer to watch almost in like a spotting position like okay, if you fall, like I'm gonna at least make sure you don't like, you know, bust your head.
Once again, I'm catching up with the idea that this is what we're going.
Yeah. Is that your cat?
Uh, no, actually, I just saw that it was stuck up here. And you do hear it like mewling. Sorry, I just saw the audience. Thank you for that.
Hmm.
Um, yes, he is for sure real kind. You do hear the kitten like mewling in like mewling repeatedly in that way. That's like, oh yeah, this is probably a kitten who should not be up here. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
uh, and as he says this, he's kind of like reaching out towards this cat, and I'm going to roll another dex.
Hmm.
Oh my fucking god!
No. Oh my god.
Got a 3.
Oh no. um,
Here's
do I roll a dex now?
let me describe
Yes.
what happens. um, you see this man reach over to towards the kitten to try and like coax it into coming closer to him. The branch snaps,
Oh no.
and both him and the kitten fall.
Oh no.
You
Gosh darn it.
roll your dex.
Yeah, I'll roll my dex save. Um, I do have Mage Hand, so he's going to, as part of this dex save, also try to uh get the cat. And holy shit, I got a nat 20.
Oh my fucking god!
Can't believe it. I mean, my dex save mod is a +4 anyhow because I have proficiency, but yeah, nat 20.
Compared to his fucking 3.
Oh, wow. Incredible.
God, there was this whole moment of panic as as he was falling, and you would just pick him up like nobody's business before he even like hits the ground,
Uh-huh.
and like he's not even sure what happened either. Because God, that was so good. That was so great. So there's like a moment of just like, oh, okay, he's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Is the and he's like starting to look around for the cat, and you said you reach for the kitten with the mage hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
The kitten is trying to claw at the mage hand because oh boy.
Yeah, yeah. No, he's just gonna like uh uh lower the cat to the ground and like try and put this fella back on his feet before he drops him because his strength score is not that high.
Fucking guy. This man's a tweak. I'm pretty sure you'd be fine.
Yeah, that's fair. You've got it, huh?
Uh, well, he looks incredibly embarrassed. Like, and like as he set him down, he kind of like rubs a hand against the back of his neck, very sheepishly. He says, I suppose you can't account for everything, including branches breaking. Nice catch, by the way.
Oh, no problem. Um, he's gonna try and scoop the cat up to make sure it's okay as well.
The cat is hissing. I this cat did in fact get like startled out of the branch because oh boy,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah, big scare.
yeah. guess this would count as an animal handling.
Sure. Yeah, I'll roll. Ah! That it's gone.
Oh no.
Hang on. I know I see it. Ah, stinking headphones. It's a whole production. All right, I got it. Let me just roll that. Not in favor. Huh. What is my animal handling? That's 12.
Oh, this cat does not want to be picked up. You you
uh
you pick up this kitten. It does not look happy about being picked up, and it looks like it is inches from trying to bite your fingers.
oh
But
yeah,
other
hissing and spitting.
kitty is okay though.
One moment, please.
Oh,
Okay, we're good.
okay. You good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This cat is this cat is fine. If you
Mm-hmm.
let it go, it's just gonna like dart off and just like probably from the bushes watch you guys uh watch you guys warily. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, yeah. No, he just gives it a quick look over and lets it go. Well, that's that solved.
Uh, right. Sorry about the uh, hassle. Again, he's incredibly embarrassed.
No, that's quite all right. Um, uh, what's your name, by the way? I'm the professor. And he's gonna extend his hand.
All right. He's gonna shake your hand and he says, "Oh, I'm Tomomi Masaru."
Oh, is that so? Uh, I've, you know, Arana Satomi.
Oh yes, Satomi-kun. He was one of the students at a school I counseled at.
Yes, I'm a friend of his.
Well, it's very nice to meet you. He is shaking your hand. Do you
Yep.
want to do your thing?
I do, you know I do. All right, let's see if it's working. Please. Okay, yep. That absolutely a 15 passes the DC of 10 and perception. Oh, okay. That is an unnatural 20. Well,
Whew. Whew. Well, I think I'm going to freak him the fuck out.
fun.
um, Professor, you've seen plenty of clash art with Quarry. Uh,
Yes.
and you just see one that was like very small when you met Isabella for the first time.
Yeah.
Um, Professor, there is a quarry hanging around this guy.
Hmm.
Unnaturally big.
Oh no. Oh
Just,
dear.
yeah,
They get pretty big too.
yeah, yeah. You know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah. No, this is like behemoth.
Yeah. Um, and
Hmm.
like there's a lot, there's quite a few writhing tendrils. But probably as a relief to the professor, this quarry is not really like paying attention to you.
Hmm.
Um, just kind of like attention off to the side. Um,
Hmm.
at the same time, though, when you notice this Corey, can you roll me a con save?
Oh, I'd be delighted. Okay, that's okay, okay. At least it's the higher of the two. That's a 12.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Oh, gosh, you immediately recognize this feeling because in your ears there's this ringing similar to microphone feedback,
Mm.
and that pins and needly feeling in your fingertips.
Mm-hmm. I think between the uh I I don't think I'm gonna roll a whiz save or a deception because I think between like the quarry and that he wasn't expecting, um I think I would have given him disadvantage anyway. He just sort of uh uh his hand sort of like jerks and he like shakes it out. Ow.
Uh, are you alright?
Um, yes, just uh, probably just a static shock.
Oh, sorry.
I am wearing wool.
Yeah, that does to do it in this weather. Kind of glances around. Are you sure you're alright? I,
Yes, I'm fine. Thank you. Um, well, I was actually going to seek you out, because I was wondering if you could um help answer some questions uh that Arata and I have about cognitive science specifically.
there's like this moment of oh and then oh, like he just seems to brighten up at the idea of just even talking about cognitive science. Um, and he's just oh well, I'd be happy to. It's not really a topic that I get to talk about much, but yes,
Mhm.
certainly.
Yes. Hmm. Are you all right to keep walking, or do you want to find somewhere to sit down? You did just have quite the fall.
I'm gonna roll him a quick con to see how he's doing. I probably should have done this earlier.
No, it's okay. It didn't. Yeah, they were just standing around up till now.
Yeah. Okay. He
Oh,
got an unnatural 20. He
he's
seems to be
fine.
fine.
All right. Uh, that's fine then.
He's just oh I think I'm right to keep moving, but
Hmm.
I'll let you know if I need to sit down.
Sure.
He's looking back up at the tree with the broken branch, and he's just there's this look on his face like oh man.
Yeah. Hmm. Well, so I heard that you, um, uh, at least when Arata knew you were, if I remember right, you were doing some research into how cognitive science could be used in a therapeutic sense to, if I understand the theory, um, uh, uh, alter a person's point of view so that they can um, more easily process and work through what they're dealing with.
That's that's putting it in simple terms, but Yes, that's pretty much the idea.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So um what I'm curious about is how that's actually implemented. Is it uh a ritual spell, uh hypnosis,
Oh,
a medicinal treatment paired with something? I don't.
well, you got him like in like in another sheepish corner where he kind of like rubs at the back of his neck again. And he's like, that is one of the roadblocks in my research. Actually, I'm trying to figure out how to put this into words.
Mm, yeah, no worries. I have a few questions that might be difficult, so take your time.
Yeah, um, he's just there is evidence that cognitive science can function like this, but the biggest hurdle is trying to figure out how to, I suppose you could say, put it into practical use.
Hmm. Aside from just theory.
Aside from theory, yes.
Hmm.
It's hmm. No magic so far. No developmental medicine or anything. Not as though I can actually research into that anymore. But it's like I said, there is basis, or at least I call it basis. A lot of other people seem to say it's a fanciful notion.
Yeah. He sort of like shrugs, like, it seems to me to be plausible enough.
My God,
I
I'm sorry, you can't just hand me that right off the bat. He kind of just like looks up at you with like this expression. It's almost like right.
uh-huh. I did manage to read um a book about cognitive science by uh hang on
I
my
did look up
notes.
her name again.
I
It's
know it's here. Taira Adoru. Nope. Wait, police detective. Nope, that's a different person. Nope, that's the uncle. Uh, the name is,
Makoto Ito.
yes, Makoto Ito.
And oh gosh, oof. And Masaru nods at that and he says, "Yes, her work is probably the most advanced out of anyone in the field, but it is a very niche field."
Hmm. Hmm. Yes. Well, I'm not a stranger to that. Uh, I'm actually a professor of planar studies, which has sort of also niche uses.
He actually looks incredibly curious at that. Like, just he's just like, well, at least there's more basis to that than just
Well, it is an older field, yes.
yes. And he's very like, I don't know how to put into words the kind of vibes uh, he has discussing this.
Mm.
Hmm. Do you want to roll insight?
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay, you're not gonna believe this. I got another nat 20.
My fucking god!
Yeah, I don't. It's just, I was like, too bad my insight's not very high. And then that,
God,
uh,
yeah, and like in the last FPS, like Professor was rolling really bad on insight, wasn't he?
oh, awful. Yeah.
Look at this.
Well,
Um, here's the thing about the way he talks to you about cognitive science. Um, he is very delighted to like even have the opportunity to talk about it.
mhm,
Especially because you asked. Like this, that apparent like you get the feeling that that doesn't happen a lot with him, but at the same
right.
time there is a sense of like wariness.
Hmm.
Like he's not sure how you're going to react to some of the things he says.
Hmm.
Almost
Hmm.
like he's gotten poor reception before.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. No, that seems fair. Hmm. Let's see. Um, hmm. I think I think he just continues like well, it does seem to have uh it does seem to be a promising theory, and uh until more recently, uh I here has had um a few people um uh making serious study of it, although uh Matsuyushi Endo certainly hmm, uh certainly uh what is the word? Uh
Soured?
uh certainly slowed that progress.
Hmm. Yeah, carrying your fucking nat 20 from earlier, um, on your insight, you mentioned Endo and his expression just kind of sours and it goes in, like his lips form like a thin line and
Hmm.
oh boy, um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, he knows. He knows what he's doing.
yeah, um, and he's just uh, well, there was a allegedly a lot of things that Endo uh, had his interests in.
Yes, yes. Um, did you uh hear what he planned to use it for?
And he kind of looks up at you, kind of confused. He's just, no, actually, not a lot of about that trial was made public.
Mm.
Sorry, I am still coughing.
Oh, yeah, no, you're fine. Um, he just sort of like nods solemnly and he says like, well, it probably won't surprise you that whether this would have worked or not, um, he uh, had illusions of um, using it to bend the population to his will, essentially.
I think you react poorly to that, my guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I fucking thought. Um, that was a 9 on the dice.
Oof.
Um, but he has proficiency in
Mm.
whiz saves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yikes. He kind of looks horrified at that because like the implication you're putting down is mind control.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's using pretty like sanitary word choice, but like, yeah, the implications are pretty clear.
Yeah, he. I don't know if he can even like bring like uh, bring himself to like say anything in reaction to that. He just looks very. I don't know if if shocked would be the right term, but it is like the feeling of just disgust at that. Like,
Kind of like horrified.
yeah. um, and he's what do you say? What do you say? You poor little meow meow. I think what he ends up saying is something along the lines of, "Well, that's good grief. How by the mask? I mean, well, there might be basis in that too, but oh, oh, what do you say? Come on, come on! I had the words. I had the words. Fuck. there's 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 a lot of, of different things you could do. You could do even even outside of this scope. Imagine the benefits you could do if you could. He's kind of like rambling because again, this is his specialty.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
And he just got confronted with like the worst like perversion of its use.
yeah, and he's like, uh, he is all for advocating uh for its the use of this research in its benefits.
Yeah.
Um, it is that is basically what you're getting from his like frustrated stammering.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm. Yeah, Professor just sort of like nods and he says like um hmm. Well, given that uh uh given that certain people will be aware of that intention of his, um, uh, if uh, if you are able to advance your research, I would highly recommend uh, being able to detail, um, let's say, safety measures uh, so that mm, potential uh, benefactors don't have to worry about something like that happening, either because uh, it's somebody who's not meant to have that sort of power gets it, or something goes wrong. I don't really know what can go wrong with cognitive science. I mean, I imagine that it could be, well, like many things, and he's sort of couching this to be like like I'm with you. I'm not trying to criticize like your whole deal. Um like many things, many fields of study, it can be twisted, used for ill.
God, there's a because this is Persona 5. He does have like different like uh talk sprites. Uh,
Yeah.
there's one that I'm thinking of when he's just like when he seems kind of like cowed or like sad or upset, and I can't
Mm,
find a picture of it.
no.
But like he kind of like lowers his head and like looks off to the side, and he's just he's there's no denying that, I suppose. I mean, even now, I still get quite a few people saying that I should change research topics.
Well, I don't know about that. You know, just be careful is all.
Oh, certainly. I mean, I
I mean, it's whatever good scientists needs to do. I mean, you can imagine the sorts of catastrophes that can happen when planar science is used poorly.
sorry, I just remembered from something from the Adventure Zone.
Oh my
right,
gosh.
right as you said that, because like
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the Stolen Century, and
Yes.
I'm thinking of the world they visited where the arcane plane was like just fucking vivisected the material plane,
Yes.
and like that was the only thing I could think of, and I'm just like, oh no.
Yup.
uh, so like, yeah, Professor's got a point.
Hmm. You don't even have to know very much about planes to imagine how messing with them could go bad.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, no, he just kind of lets out like a sigh, and his shoulders sag a little. He's just like, well, of course. I mean, even with regular therapeutic means, you still have to take precautions and whatnot, and you have to be wary of your patient's well being.
Of course, of course.
Hmm. Still, though, not sure what kind of countermeasures to put in place without knowing how to completely implement. And you see him like do this thing where he looks like he's less talking to you and more like he's talking to himself.
Hmm.
Very, very much in thought now.
Uh-huh.
This guy has the vibe of a very what's the word?
Absent-minded?
Very absent-minded from like his current like conversations, because his mind does tend to wander a bit.
Hmm. A
Um,
little bit uh uh
kind
uh
kind of like
what's
a
the word?
dreamer of sorts.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
very
Head in the clouds.
yeah.
Yeah.
like, I don't know how else to say this. Even without your nat 20 insight,
Mhm.
this guy has such poor little meow meow energies. You feel like you could just shove him into a locker and he would not put up much of a fight.
Uh, I think he just sort of um he sort of like tilts forward uh to uh sort of cranes his neck around to sort of like not quite get in his face but like get his attention, and he goes like, well, can it be applied to uh only to individuals or en masse?
Huh. Well, I suppose that depends on what angle you're trying to go for, but in theory, use of the collective unconscious in that sense, you could. You see him pause for a moment, like he's just caught up with what he was thinking of
Hmm.
saying, and he's just. In theory, if you messed with the collective unconscious in ways of kind of cognitive science, you could you could mess with how the public uh, views the world around them.
Yes, well, it is called the collective unconscious.
Yeah, it's but doing something on mass would be, oh, that would be I don't know how else to say that. That's not something to recommend. That's
No, no, that's getting a lot closer to what Endo wanted.
yeah.
Hmm.
And besides, the takes a deep breath and lets it out in a sigh. He's just in a more practical sense. It would be much more beneficial to change the cognition of a single individual to suit their needs, not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You've got him in that like rambling mode again as he's just like as he's just like talking about his research in the sense um this is something that he is incredibly passionate about, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah.
Professor sort of muses for a minute, and then he goes, "What if, hmm, what if one would want to uh, reverse the effects? Would that be possible, do you think?"
To reverse the effects of changed cognition,
Mm-hmm.
I hmm you see him like genuinely think about this for a second. He says, I think that depends on the means. I mean, well, in theory, is saying that he would use them as an example. Fuck. If someone were to say have a change of heart induced by the spirit rogues, assuming of course that cognitive science does take play in that process.
Hmm.
Maybe.
Hmm. Like the sort of idea where if it can be done once, it could be done again.
Well, it certainly depends on the means, but uh, I, I'm not quite sure about that analogy, actually. That it does
Hmm.
seem to be a bit of a extreme. And he's you've got him thinking again. He's very very much in thought, and he's just in theory, if you don't,
Hmm.
with an ordinary person, I would assume you could change a cognition more than once, but
Mm-hmm.
in a case like say Masuyami and I did not name this other character. Fuck. So we're gonna have to pull a different one. In the case of Masuyami and Akisato, um, no, not Akisato. Masuyama and Kabayama, which were the first two um, targets of the Spear Rogues, the first two big
Mm.
targets.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Considering that their situation was quite extreme,
Mm.
I'm not sure if it could be changed in the exact same way.
Yes, perhaps not. Curious.
Uh, Professor, you did ask Arata a while back about the how a change of heart works.
Yeah.
If you've already removed a core
Oh. Mm-hmm.
distortion, you can't
Yeah.
remove it again. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That he knows.
yeah,
So uh he knows that those big things that they do can't be replicated, um at least for that specific cognition.
yeah,
A person could potentially, in an extreme case, have two different changes of heart
yeah,
if they're really messed up. But
yeah,
but it couldn't be over the same issue because, like you said, they literally take a thing.
yeah,
Yeah, but also, he knows better than to necessarily let on that he knows that,
yeah.
and also, well, cog
Cog-
uh, cognitive science might not work exactly the same, as far as he knows.
um, I would say because you did read Makoto
The book.
Ito's book, yes. Um, there are similar ideas, but they don't use
Mm,
the same phrasing, and they it is clearly like so like early in the beginning of this like delving into this research
hmm.
that they don't fully comprehend it,
Yeah.
but like based on what they had discovered in the book and what Arata has told you, there are like a few things that line up. Most of the things in
Hmm.
the book though were in theory.
Mm, hmm. So it does. There are parallels between
Yes.
uh, the theory and what the spirit rogues do in practice.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Mm, yeah. Well, he's gonna keep that detail to himself.
Yeah.
uh, hmm.
Well, you did just bring up the spear rogue, so
Oh yeah, yeah.
probably not too hard of a guess to figure that he's a fan.
Hmm. I It sounds like you follow their work rather closely.
Oh, yes. Well, I did work at the school where they allegedly started, at
Hmm.
least for a little bit. Though I was hired uh, a week or so afterwards.
Hmm.
I did get to see the effects of their work firsthand, so to speak, and well,
Hmm.
they've helped so many people.
Hmm.
it's hard not to be a fan.
Certainly, certainly. Well, not everybody seems to think so, but
Unfortunately.
hmm,
But I suppose that's what happens when you've become a famous group of phantom thieves.
yes. And, well, of course, people are afraid of things they don't understand.
And he nods, like, oh yeah, absolutely. Um, like, he kind of understands that more than anything else.
Uh-huh. Hmm. Hmm. Would do you think that there's uh enough research basis that uh somebody could theoretically already be putting cognitive science to use in a practical manner?
Uh,
Or is it just too far off?
well, that's a bit difficult to answer. The field is very small, and, well, I wouldn't exactly know. I've been. He kind of swallows, like he just realized what he was about to say is not like a very good thing to say. He's just kind of, well,
Hmm.
I've been a bit ostracized by the scientific community, but I
Hmm.
I wouldn't know. No, I don't know.
Hmm. How did you get into the field?
Oh, this is something that's not even brought up in the game. Hang on. Well, he kind of again, he looks a little sheepish and he says, "Well, I've always been interested in psychology and the like, and
Hmm.
well, I was also fairly superstitious, especially
Hmm.
growing up. But the idea of a more, I suppose you could say, fanciful way to help others has been very appealing to me. Um,
Hmm. Oh, that makes sense.
it's a bit difficult to put into words. The idea that something could be helpful when there's not a lot of um, research to really back that claim. But even
Hmm.
so, it's something that I find worth pursuing.
Hmm. Yes, well, many fields do start out that way. They're just rather niche, as you said, and then you get a few people strongly compelled to follow it up, and it well, uh, it either dies out or it flourishes.
And he nods. He says, "Well, at the very least, it does seem to have captured the attention of the media, at least here in Yeddo. Um,
Oh,
after what happened with Endo and what happened with the whole scandal with Montez. It's been a topic of discussion, but not a lot of people really understand it. It's not quite a, I suppose you could say, household idea.
Montez?
Montez, that is. Do you want me to spell that out for you?
Yes, I'm more curious if I've heard it before.
Uh, no, but you have definitely heard of what they've done.
Okay. Okay. All right, I'll keep that in mind.
Is Professor asking about Montez or
Yeah,
okay?
because if he's not heard the word, not heard the name, then, uh,
Well, in that case, Masaru just kind of blinks like he just realized that like, oh, uh, well, how do I put this? A couple years back, this was, I believe, the summer after the election. There was this this company, this tech company that had a that produced an artificial intelligence assistant, but apparently it
ooh.
had yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes. Um, I do think I've heard this story. I just don't think I heard the name attached to it. So
Yeah,
this was what, the primary creator of the product?
yes, this was the company that allegedly produced the AI assistant.
I see. The ones that were manipulating uh the collective unconsciousness.
And yeah, he nods.
I see. Hmm. Yes, I see how that would be uh not a great thing to have in the news while you're working in this field.
He lets out a sigh. How do I describe the sigh that he lets out? It's very strained.
Hmm.
It is strained, and I suppose you could say disappointed because oh boy,
Hmm.
it is not being well received right now. TM. Um,
Hmm.
but boy, is he still trying. Um,
Yeah. Professor's just got a sort of like sympathetic smile, like, yeah. Hmm. Well, in one sense, then, it does seem like somebody's got some idea of how to perhaps start working with it. I wonder, hmm, I wonder if anything can be learned from what happened. Not that anyone would want to replicate the situation, of
oh
course,
no no.
but if
This
there was any piece of information that might be useful.
I'm not exactly sure how easy it would be to get information about that case from the authorities.
Hmm, well, hmm. If you know the right people, I mean, well, you can ask.
And he just kind of What do you say? He's just kind of. I suppose, but even still. He kind of just, again, sighs and rubs a hand against his face.
He shrugs. Well, maybe it is nothing. He doesn't seem convinced.
Yeah, he's just like I don't know. After the two big scandals involving cognitive science, I'm not everyone seems too keen on letting that information get too public. I mean, of course, there's the book, but also
Mm.
after what the efforts Endo had in keeping that information quiet.
Yes, and I can understand that from a safety point of view, but I do also see how that makes things frustrating. I wonder if maybe it wouldn't be prudent to mm, just sort of wait until it sort of makes its way out to the news cycle and uh, pick up when people aren't so uh, concerned about it.
Hmm. He does look a little bit thoughtful at that. Like, thoughtful in a very uncertain kind of way,
Mm.
you know?
I mean, you don't necessarily have to stop doing work, but
Oh, no, no, that's. Hmm. I. Hmm. I'm a bit hesitant to go with the same path considering how badly it went for them, but
hmm,
maybe there is something that could be learned. I don't know.
it's it's possible.
Hmm.
I mean, this isn't my field. You would know better than I, but hmm,
You said that you and Satomi-kun had questions about cognitive science. Uh, did something
hmm,
come up, or
hmm. Well, it might just be uh it might just be that he's concerned for the um mental well-being of a friend of his.
Satomi-kun? Is this about? He did drop by earlier to pick something up, but hmm. You would have at least heard about this from Arata. I keep forgetting to bring this up.
Mm,
Um, but Arata did talk to Dr. Masaru about trying to get Azumi help, since
hmm.
Azumi is so, I guess you could say reclusive. He does not want to go see, he would not even see a professional.
Yeah,
Um, so you would at least know that, yeah, that was a conversation that Arata had with Masaru.
right. Looking into alternative methods.
And that he did pick something up at some point
Mm-hmm.
that I still don't have a name for.
Yeah.
Probably will not be named ever again.
Yep.
So like, yeah, no. I think Masaru's like this. Is that? Oh, actually, no. That's probably asking too much.
Mm.
Well, I don't want to intrude on the privacy of someone else, but
Mm.
Satomi-kun did come by asking about how to help someone who isn't too trusting of others.
Ah, yes. This will be the same individual.
All right. Hope things are okay then.
Hmm. He just sort of looks uncertain. Um.
Yeah, no. Masaru just kind of looks worried.
Mhm.
He's a therapist. This is what he does.
Yeah. Yeah. No fair. Well, they've been worse, but they've also been better.
It always could be better, couldn't it?
Ay. Well. Uh.
He's handing me more that he wants to say, but he's not giving me like the words he wants to say, and I'm just
Mm.
like, God damn it! I
Hmm.
have to like sit here and like piece together what he wants to say, but
Yeah.
most
Do
of
you want a second?
yeah, most most of what he's saying what is kind of, I guess, esoteric.
Mm.
It is so out there. It's just kind of plain weird, and I'm just like, oh, buddy, okay, I guess. He's just. I think what he ends up saying is, well, I suppose all you can do is help in any way that you can. Um, I did try to give Satomi-kun a bit of advice. I I don't know the kind of individual that he was trying to get help for is, but even so, if anything else comes up, if nothing else, you do have someone whose field of study is psychology. He's he, he's making a face like he's hoping that's helpful.
uh. I appreciate the offer. I'll if they get to a point where that's something that they would consider, you're top of the list.
Oh, thank you. He took that as a compliment, and I'm just like, sir.
It's not because you're the only psychiatrist. No, no, it's not because you're the only counselor in Yeddo the professor knows of.
Oh my god. But like, God, yeah. Um, he does seem to take well to that at the very least. So you got that for you.
Good.
Thank you, audience.
I I am out of the questions I thought of to ask beforehand.
I'm I'm trying to think of something he would probably say.
Mm,
But this isn't a counseling session, so there's no like organic way for him to bring it up.
ah,
Um,
he
and
could just be awkward and bring it up in a non-organic way.
he really could. That is his whole character, being clumsy as shit even in social situations. Um, yeah, actually, I think he would bring it up in this way. He goes, there's probably like a moment of silence as you guys are like walking around the big old pond area. Um, and after a moment, he goes, well, I suppose tangentially related to cognitive science. Do you mind if I ask you a question?
Oh, well, certainly.
I suppose for a bit of a, I guess you could say, field survey. What are your thoughts on? Ooh, how do you phrase this? What are your thoughts on wish fulfillment?
Hmm. Huh. Good question. Um,
I, that's probably a very odd question, and I did sort of bring it up out of nowhere, but uh,
mm,
I suppose it's a bit of more of a personal interest than really anything I've been
no,
researching, but
sure, sure. Um, hmm. Ah, well, I mean, when it comes to um uh granting wishes, of course there are many possible complications. Uh, uh, I mean, you know, uh, things not going the way they're supposed to go.
like
Um,
monkey's paw.
yes, precisely.
Mm.
Um, genies and fae and even some uh um even some deities don't quite uh exactly fulfill wishes in good faith. Uh well, and then then of course you've got fiends and such.
Mm. Well, I suppose they don't. Mm. He looks really, really thoughtful.
Hmm. I suppose I would approach a wish uh with caution, good bit of wariness. Um, but they can be they can be useful.
Hmm. Well, it does sound to me that you have a bit of experience in a
Mm,
way.
Uh, yes. Well, many of the beings that can and do grant wishes and the like are interplanar, and uh, well, uh, I've been privy to a few different situations where wishes have gone bad.
Mm. Hmm.
Whether it was intended so or not.
Huh. And again, he looks a bit thoughtful, like he's genuinely taking your response into consideration.
Hmm.
Yeah, he
It
would.
is.
Oh,
Oh, I was going to note, like, it is fairly clear that, like no insight really needed. Like the way that the professor is like coming at this is from an angle of like uh magic and like the spell wish and like big sort of, miracles and like deals and very much a very much a concrete concept,
yeah.
uh and usually on a large scale.
Uh,
He is not thinking of wish fulfillment necessarily in the same way that a normal person would.
no, that is fair, and I think just because he's picked it up on it, that this does make his next question make a little bit more sense.
Hmm.
I just have to figure out how he phrases it.
Hmm.
He goes, oh, okay, well, hypothetically speaking, of course,
Hmm.
let's say that there was no magic involved, no beings with alternative motives or less than savory methods.
Oh.
In theory, something just lined up, just in the right way that it was for you to take. Is that something you could rely on? Is that something you would still take?
Hmm. Uh. Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. I would say that personally, I would, uh, well, speaking frankly, um, I would, uh, be inclined to, if something were to, line up to benefit me, uh, take advantage of it, yes. Uh, Rely on it, no, absolutely not.
I suppose that's a fair answer. He does kind of chuckle at that. Of course, the world doesn't work that way. And he does kind of
No.
run a hand through his hair. And again, he does look pretty thoughtful.
Hmm.
Um, but he does look pretty satisfied with the answer you gave him.
Mm. Hmm. One can't, of course, count on such things to happen.
No, no, absolutely not. Again, it is called wish fulfillment for a reason.
Hmm. Wishful thinking.
wishful, wishful thinking, wishful dreaming.
Hmm.
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 Just because I think it would be really funny, he kind of sticks his hand into his coat pocket, um, just kind of absent-mindedly and just kind of blink when he feels something in his pocket, and he pulls out a granola bar, and he's just like staring at it like he did not know that was in there. And he just kind of tucks it back in, like, okay, guess he just has that now.
Professor just like raises an eyebrow.
He kind of looks towards you and he says, I make it a habit to try at least keep a few snacks for my patients. I,
Oh.
it does seem to help with the more stressful conversations.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think this would be like a hilarious way to end off if you don't have anything else to add. Um,
I have one funny thing to sort of cap it off,
oh,
which is Professor sort of laughs at that, and he um, goes into his own pocket and takes out uh, a white wax paper bag, and he just holds it out. He's like, "Well, in that case, would you like a gummy bear?"
yeah, you know he's gonna take it.
Yeah, yeah, that's all I got.
That. Okay, that was better than what I had in mind. um, but yes, thank you for playing with me, Oatmeal. Oh my
Yay!
god.
Thank you. Oh, this was much anticipated.
It was very good. It was so good. I enjoyed it so
Hmm.
much. And thank you so much to our listening audience,
Yay.
both now and in the future. For now, we are going to bid you a good time zone.
Mm.
Bye.
Bye.